Okay, here we go. We're going to do one check. Check. Okay. So since I'm trying to get serious about my YouTube again, of course, I've been doing a lot of research on how to make your channel successful. And there's a lot of advice out there, a whole industry really based on how you can grow your YouTube channel. All the advice that you see, read everywhere, or most of it at least, talks about a niche or a niche, or I'll refer to it as a niche because I don't know how to pronounce that word. So just choose whichever one makes you less outraged. So a niche, like you have to figure out a subject, what your place is in the algorithm, and then kind of stick to that. These algorithms can't be so smart. They can only grab what they can grab from your content or whatever. So they got to put you in a category of some kind or another. And so there you go. There's your niche, right? The internet has changed us in a short period of time, but we're the same as we always were. We want to stand out and we want to fit in. And that's the first contradiction. The push and pull of being a human being, I think, we're full of contradictions because we are more than one thing. We're not a niche. It seems like these algorithms are running our lives and they're making us feel like we have to be a certain thing and think way too much about what we are, where we fit in. Some people they're okay with the idea, this big pressure to fit in. They're okay with it and they just roll with it. Me, I hate this part. Why do we spend our time giving a crap about what other people think? It goes back from the first people. I don't know much about them really, but I do know that they didn't have the internet. You can quote me on that. At some time, fitting in with the people around you was a matter of life and death because people have always needed each other to survive. The difference between then and now, the tribe, now like your tribe is kind of whatever weird thing you're into. You can go find a subreddit for it. Then you were bound together by your mutual need to survive. You hunted together, go out and try to find food together, protect yourself from hostile forces together, etc. It was much more of a tight bond, and it was based on something that I consider much more real, survival. It was not based on whether or not you disagreed with each other or something. Of course I wasn't there, but I just find it hard to believe that you could get kicked out of the group for thinking about some concept in a different way than somebody else. But the fear of getting kicked out is real. At one time, if you did get ostracized from the group, that's pretty much, it's pretty much your death sentence, right? And so it probably feels a lot like that now. But in all these YouTube videos about growing your channel that I come across, I don't hear the word integrity mentioned in any of them, at least not the ones that I've seen. And it's not to say that there isn't some lip service given to authenticity. Everybody always says be yourself, but make sure you don't do anything that is going to rock the boat. Always think about that and blah blah, right? Just play a role. You have to pretend to be somebody you're not. It's got to take up a lot of mental energy, and it's probably going to just make you dumber overall, right? If you're just constantly thinking about this, you're using up bandwidth in your brain to it's terrible, right? I'm not saying that that's the same thing as like having a YouTube channel that concentrates on a certain subject at all. I watch YouTube all the time for like how-to stuff and this and that. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but the channels that stick around, even if they are around the subject, it's because of the authenticity or the personality of the host. But it's this push and pull all the time of I don't want to change to get my audience. So it's like, how do I find them? I think that the best way to find the people, all things considered, you just have to be yourself. You have to be your authentic self, and people that are drawn to that are drawn to it. I guess I've talked this whole time just to say that one thing. Be yourself. Don't put on a uniform. It's just dumb. It's not worth our time and energy. Even if you do need an audience, cultivate real relationships with people, and just don't even think about the idea that you're going to get kicked out if you to go against the niche or whatever. This has been the Hedgehog Piece, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I recently came out with the first episode of my graphic novel called Sam the Junk, about a woman whose life is kind of a hot mess, and then she almost dies, and then things get weird. It's kind of a sci-fi horror thing, and this week it was published on Kindle, so you can go get the Kindle version of it, or you can go to my website. I'll have a link somewhere down there, over there, up there, that will allow you to go and buy it. Like and subscribe, I think I'm supposed to say, but really, let's do it. Goodbye.